right, boom. Welcome back to the revolution. Gabe the Great back again with another video. That's right, guys. I've put the stake in the ground. We are in the second American Revolution. I'm not waiting for somebody else to announce it. I'm not waiting for whatever. At some point, you have to look at the times and go based upon your own convictions and go, I don't care what the powers to be say. I don't care what the media says. We either revolt, we either get this revolution, really crank up the speed on it, because as far as I'm concerned, we're in the third quarter of the second American Revolution, and most Americans have no idea. So we either get our stuff together, all right, and unify behind leaders who are going to unify. That is the biggest thing we need right now. The number one thing you need to be looking for in this revolution is leaders who are here to unify. Leaders who don't just want to amass power. I don't want to hear left-wing people talk about what's wrong with the right and what's MAGA and what we need to do on the left. You can't save us. And none of the right is going to save us, because that's Donald Trump's party. They can't go against Donald Trump. They don't know how to do it. Okay? But so what we need are people. What that means is everybody's living in some sort of fear. Everybody's divided. And we need to get behind leaders who will unite. Okay. But today what we're going to talk about is ICE. Because I need you guys to understand. ICE is going to, if it's not already, it's Donald Trump's secret police. ICE right now is being used to deport illegal immigrants, right? That's going to change. And it's already changing. We've already seen ICE and different arrest mayors. Y'all don't get it. Again, I've been a cult leader. I've been a leader of a cult. And I'm trying to tell you guys, everything that cult leaders do is for information gathering purposes. Everything. So, and cult leaders, unlike the people that they lead, unlike the non-cult leaders, they're very detached from the outcome. They are moved by their convictions. And so when you guys see ICE do these raids, not just on quote unquote illegal immigrants, but on established American businesses, when you hear about mayors and judges getting arrested, understand Donald Trump is doing that just to see what y'all gonna do. And the reason why he does that is goes, okay, if I arrest the judge and nobody tries to burn anything down, oh, that means I can keep going. And if I arrest the mayor and nobody does anything, that means we can keep going. Americans at some point have got to overcome their fear, because a lot of Americans are afraid. You are going to have to go up against the Trump administration head on. If you don't, these ICE will become the state police, will become the secret police, right? In which that you will not be able to move. You will live in a police state, right? That is what this is heading towards. And again, Americans believe that they are so special, that they're so great, that this could never happen in the United States of America as it's happening in the United States of America. That's where Americans are at right now. There are millions of Americans are going, oh, Donald Trump can never do that in the United States, as he's doing it. He's doing it right now. You got people who are going to jail. I mean, people have all that's the other thing that people don't realize. Like, America is one big gaslight, and it goes all the way down to the foundation, right? It goes all the way down to the foundation. The Constitution is this document that talks about equality while explicitly excluding most of the general population from the rights that it talks about. White women didn't have those rights. Poor white men didn't have those rights. Obviously, black people and indigenous people didn't have those rights. The gaslight up that is the United States of America goes all the way down to its core. For centuries and decades, the United States of America has been a place that the rich and the powerful can do whatever they want, and it doesn't uphold liberty, justice. But now it's blatant, and Americans, no matter how blatant it is still telling themselves that, oh, we'll be fine. You will be fine if you're on Donald Trump's team. If you're on Donald Trump's team and you do what Donald Trump says, and people think that's just going to be for the administration. No, bro. No. That is how leadership is going to be in the United States going forward. And if Americans don't start to unite and rebel, them ICE agents are going to start coming for everybody. And you may say, well, the law doesn't allow that. The law, that's against the law. Okay, bro, at what point has Donald Trump ever not broken the law? At what point? Y'all keep talking about the law like Donald Trump cares about the law. It's not rocket science. If you put a criminal in charge of enforcing the law, he's just going to do whatever he wants. This is not rocket science, right? This is why when you guys go, oh, the courts. Guys, the courts are the reason Donald Trump is there. Because we went through the courts, proved to the courts that he is a criminal, that he is a fraud, and the court said, well, he's not going to jail. He's still going to be president. Even after we showed the court evidence that he committed fraud for the purposes of interfering with elections. Even though they have said openly multiple times that the 2024 election was rigged so Donald Trump can become president. He has said that. Why do you guys think the law is going to stop Donald Trump? The law is not going to stop ICE. The law is not going to stop these people. These people don't care about the law. Get that through your head. You who are watching this video will stop the Donald Trump administration, or you will be stopped by them. The law is not stopping these guys. And this is the problem with the United States of America. You guys think somebody else is going to... Nobody's coming to save you, America. Nobody's coming to save you. The law is not going to save you. Your politicians aren't going to save you. You will actualize your faith. You will actualize your beliefs. You will actualize your values, or you will not have them. That's how this works. Good people, good citizens, because everybody thinks they're a good person. You're not owed shit. You're not owed a president who comes in step with the law. You're not owed a Congress who comes in step with the law. You are not owed a judicial branch who comes in step with the law. You will hold those people accountable, or they will do whatever the fuck they want. That's how it works. You can't sit there and bitch about, oh, you're not listening to the people. You're not for the people. Well, what the fuck are the people going to do if they don't? Y'all not going to do shit about it. Y'all not going to do shit about it. Y'all going to sit there and argue with each other. You're going to blame MAGA for some shit your politicians did. You're going to blame the left for the shit your president did. That's what you're going to do. You're going to blame all the people who don't have control of anything. You're going to blame all them. But you not actually going to speak truth to power. You're not actually going to go, no, a fraudster cannot be president. If you let a fraudster be president, you hollow out the office. This is the problem with America. Americans hide behind procedure. Americans hide behind procedure, and they hide behind power. At some point, Americans, we got to have convictions. I'm going to share something that a lot of people aren't going to like, but I know this from being a cult leader. The reasons why I don't know this about the founding fathers, but I do know this about a lot of the grifters, narcissists, and manipulators today. The reason why these guys go for a Christian nation, the reason why Donald Trump wants prayer back in school and in the Oval Office, and why he does this, guys, hear me and hear me good. It's because Christians are very easy to manipulate. Christians are a group of people who have been waiting 2,000 years for a Middle Eastern guy to pop out of the clouds and take them into space. That is their beliefs. They can feel whatever they want about it. All the Christians are going to get in their feelings right here. Oh, you can't speak on God like that. You can't. You're in your emotions, bro. You're in your emotions. Your God has done nothing about child rape. Your God has done nothing about corruption. Your God is not doing anything. Your God never does anything. Ever. This is why it's easy to manipulate you. Because Christians are the group of people who, when everything around them is going to hell, they're going to sit there and do nothing. Think about it. Because here's the thing. And I've said this in many videos. Stop dehumanizing your ops. Stop dehumanizing your ops. If you are a narcissist, if you are a manipulator, if you are a megalomaniac, you want to do what you want to do without resistance, right? Guess which group of people are not going to resist? The Christians. Because Christians have accepted, if I take hell right now, I'll get heaven in the next life. It's really, and I've been a Christian. I've understood that logic. The logic is, why would I care about this little bit of life when I get all this in the afterlife? You don't know that you get that. And even if that's so, why would you want to spend eternity with a God who wants your life to suck now? It doesn't make sense. No. But Christians are very easy to manipulate. They're very easy to manipulate. And not only are they easy to manipulate, but everybody else treats these nonsensical ideas as if they're law simply because Christians hide behind religion. So we have to act like believing that a guy rose from the dead is not complete lunacy. We have to act like in 2025, right? Believing that a guy is going to one day come out of the clouds and take you into space is not absolute lunacy. We got to sit here and act like the people who say they follow Jesus also are Second Amendment advocates, as if those two things don't go against each other. We got to sit here and act like the church isn't full of narcissists, grifters, pedophiles. We got to sit here and act like this isn't real. This is the problem with America. You guys are so, Americans are so consumed with somebody else doing it, or so consumed with keeping the status quo, or so consumed with not offending anybody, that you have the most ridiculous ideas leading your nations. All the rest of the developed world have slowly and gradually been moving away from religion and Christianity. Just go look at the stats. A lot of the developed worlds are moving away from it because the beliefs are nonsensical in 2025. It's nonsensical to believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God in 2025. That's the core issue. That is the core issue. And when you have a group of people who believe that a guy is the Son of God, but they require none of their leaders to live like it, this is perfect if you're a megalomaniac or a narcissist. Because the Christians are always going to defend your back as long as you say the words Jesus and God. And it's literally a Family Guy episode. Of course you want to put the 10 Commandments in school. Christians are easy to manipulate. Christians are easy to manipulate. People don't want to hear that. People don't want to hear that. People don't want to hear, and people don't want to face that. Right? Christians are just very, very easy to manipulate. Because none of that, what they believe is not based on critical thinking. They're commanded to not use their own thoughts. They're commanded to defer to an authority figure. They're commanded to pray for their leaders, no matter how corrupt they are. Not to actualize their faith. Not go, hey, my convictions, the Bible teaches me that we are to take care of the widows and orphans. And right now, our government is not doing that. Our government is actually taking care of the wealthy. The book of James talks specifically about that. The book of James talks specifically about favoritism for the wealthy over the poor. And right now, that's what the government's doing. My Christian's beliefs does not allow me to support a president that, supports the rich over the poor. If that was who Christians were, oh, let's ride, bro. Everybody go to church right now. Go to church. But that's not what the Christians are doing. The Christians just, because you guys got to understand something. I've said this over and over and over and over again. Everybody becomes a Christian for selfish reasons. There is not a single person who ever became a Christian for non-egotistical reasons. Everybody becomes a Christian to save themselves. Christianity inherently is an egotistical, self-seeking religion. You are getting baptized. You are praying Jesus into your heart. You are following Jesus for one person and one person only, yourself. You don't care about, you want to save yourself. That's why you're becoming a Christian. You want to save yourself. And so this is why you love when other people believe what you believe, because it reaffirms your beliefs. This is why Christians don't call each other to do anything, to live a certain way. This is why Christians don't demand anything of their leaders. This is why you will always be able to grift the Christians. You will always be able to get money out of the Christians. Because Christianity is a religion that does not want you to engage with the physical world. Christianity is a religion that wants you to believe that everything outside the church is evil. So Christianity is an echo chamber. It's intentionally an echo chamber. And you may say that's all religion. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not. It's not. It's not. But most Americans don't know that because they've been so inundated with Christianity. Until Americans want to stand up for their beliefs and go, listen, if y'all want to be Christian, that's cool. But if y'all going to weaponize your God, I'm going to war with your God and I'm mollywopping the nigga. Because the nigga is not smarter than me. Your God's an idiot, bro. His plan of salvation was to pour himself out into his son and kill himself as a sacrifice to himself. That's fucking stupid. You could have waited to 2025, sent a tweet about salvation. The nigga's dumb. I'm not following a dad who sent his son to die on his behalf because he kept getting humans wrong. I'm not doing it. Your God is dumb. That's conviction. Oh, but you can't, people have freedom of religion. Yeah, you got freedom of religion. Yes, freedom of religion. And nobody's telling you can't worship that God. I'm telling you, if you try to weaponize that God, I'm stronger than your God. And that's the issue. This is why atheists fail. The reason why atheists fail against Christians is because atheists don't want to live with convictions. No, I'm more intelligent than the God of the Bible. I am. I'm morally superior than the God of the Bible. The God of the Bible has no moral consistency. None. Murder is perfectly okay if you're not on God's team. It's okay to murder someone who's not on God's team. It's okay to send someone to hell for the rest of their life if they're not on God's team. There is no morality in the Bible. There's just, are you on God's team or not? That's the morals. There's no consistency. And that's what MAGA is. That's what Donald Trump is. You are right if you're on Donald Trump's side. That's the morals. There are no morals. There are no morals in Christianity. And until people are ready to engage with that, you can get morals out of it, but how Christians actually practice their religion, there's no moral consistency. And you guys aren't willing to attack their faith like that. And when I say attack their faith, it's because they're bringing their faith into the public sphere. They're bringing their faith into the government. Cool, so we have to attack your faith. You don't get to try to make everyone believe what you believe and submit to your ideology, but then try to back up and say, oh, this is religion. No, it's not. This is regime, and we're going to critique it, and we're smarter than your God. You will actualize your faith, or you will live under the dictatorships of somebody else's. That's how this works. This is why I say I start the video and go, listen, ICE is eventually going to become the state police. Because the morality of MAGA, the morality of Christianity, and the morality of Donald Trump is, if you're on my team, you're right. And if you're not on my team, I can do whatever against you. That is what Christians believe. Christians are perfectly fine with Joshua going through the land of Canaan and murdering a bunch of people for not being, not not being, you know, a part of God's chosen people, even though they never heard of God before. This is Christian logic. All right. So I want to talk about that, man. We gotta radicalize. We gotta actualize our faith, because if we don't, we're not gonna have it that much longer. All right. All right. Love you guys. Bye.